Here we go. Chris might have undersold it earlier. Okay, here we go. So, the story continues. Sunlight flickered through the strawberry leaves, rousing Christopher from his troubled dreams. He sat up and rubbed his eyes and was on the point of selecting a particularly juicy berry when he was disturbed by a rustle in the underbrush. A rat emerged from the bushes and shouted in a very high-pitched voice. The rat's voice was tight with emotion, and he waved his arms excitedly as he explained that there were many more rats in Vanity Fair who would one day leave. Then he got on his knees and he begged Christopher, in his very high-pitched voice, if he might join Christopher on his...
On your way to Evergreen Wood. Of course, let's go together.
And so the two creatures went on together, strolling merrily arm in arm. And as they walked, they sang. But then the way ahead became difficult. It was littered with rough stones, making their feet sore and their hearts heavy. But then, just to the left of their path, they spotted a meadow, just on the other side of a hedge. And Christopher said eagerly,
Hopeful, let's walk in the meadow. It's right next to the park.
But Hopeful wasn't too sure, and he put his hands on his face and he wrung his tail nervously, not liking the idea.
But it could eat us now.
Yeah, no, that's right.
But it could lead us away from the park.
But Christopher convinced him that it would be all okay. And so they took off their shoes and they stepped off the narrow path and into the meadow next to the narrow path, just behind a hedge. And they walked along arm in arm, smiling happily. But then a storm blew in, and the wind blew them this way and that way, and the rain fell. Chris, there's a cup of water there if you want to chuck it on. And yeah, go for it, come on, there we go. This is a 4D experience. And the rain fell on them. Wonderful. And then they slipped, and they fell into the river with a splash. And they grabbed at the willow branches to try to pull themselves out. And they cried out in their equally high-pitched voices, "Help us, we're going to drown. Why did we leave the path?" And next to the riverbed, all their screaming had awoken a fox. And you'll have to come back next term to see what happens next. Let's give him a round of applause. So, as we've learned so far, we must stick to the narrow path.